What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Jerry Gore, on both sides of the fence, coming at you with another video. How's my peoples out there today? My new subscribers, my old subscribers that's rocking with me, I appreciate y'all. Today I'm going to be speaking about a notorious West Virginia, one of West Virginia's most notorious inmates up at Mount Olive. He's known all across the state. If you've been and did time in West Virginia, you'll have heard his name. His name's Ronnie T. Williams. He actually has a death penalty out in Arizona. If he was ever to be released from West Virginia, he would be put to death, because West Virginia, he's got like 100 and some years. Well, he comes up parole in 2047. That'll make him probably 100 years old. He comes up for parole in 2047, but West Virginia will not release him, because if he was to somehow appeal his death sentence and he'll just be and wins it, he'll be just let loose. So West Virginia will not allow him extradited to Arizona. Well, he will be put to death. But anywho, I'm going to get and tell you about a little bit about Ronnie T. Williams. Ronnie Turney Williams, matter of fact. He was incarcerated originally. He killed a Beckley PD, Sergeant David Lilly, back around 1975. Later on, while he was incarcerated, he and 15 other convicts, they escaped from Moundsville back in November 7th, 1979. They escaped from Moundsville, about 15 of them, including him, about 16. A mass breakout. I think that's the one where they tunneled under. They had a greenhouse and tunneled under the walls. Well, when they got out, I do believe that's the one when they did that. But when they got outside the walls, off-duty state trooper Philip Kessner happened to be seeing them escape, because in Moundsville, it's like in the downtown Moundsville. So once he seen the convicts running across the street, so he pulls out a gun and tries to stop them, and they say Ronnie T was the one that fired the bullets that killed off-duty officer. He in fact killed one of the inmates. Also, he returned fire. The police officer Kessner returned fire and killed one of the convicts, but the other ones got away. Ronnie T. Williams was one or two of the inmates. The rest of them got captured immediately, but him and maybe one or two other inmates stayed out there for a couple years. He stayed out there for around, I'd say, 18, 19 months. Okay, well, I'll tell you how he got the death penalty. As soon as he ran from West Virginia, he made it out to Arizona. He was living out in Arizona for a while. He had roommates. He was going by alias Randolph Cooper and another Randolph Despain or some shit like that. He was out there for a while. He was on F.B.I.'s most wanted list at the time, because he done murdered 2 cops, so they was ready to get him. So out in Arizona, he went and knocking on some doors and went and burglared the house. Well, the neighbor, he knocked on a woman's door and asked if it was her neighbor's home. Well, he went over there and started burglarizing the house. So the woman's husband gets home and she tells him to go over there and check out the spot. Well, the husband goes over there and Ronnie T shoots him in the chest, kills him. Well, the woman goes back over there later because her husband hadn't came back, and sees her husband with a gunshot wounds to the chest. So Ronnie T takes off immediately there, leaves, and heads for New York City. So that was back in, around June 8th is when he killed John Bunch Buncheck. Yeah, John Buncheck in Scottsdale, Arizona. When he killed John Buncheck, he left there and went. From there, he went to New York City. He was in New York City from March up until June 8th when he was in a shootout in New York City hotel lobby. I guess the FBI tracked him to the hotel lobby. He was, when the whole time he was on run, he was sending cards to inmates back at the prison, taunting them and stuff. I don't know if he was taunting his friends. He was taunting, I guess, saying he was on the run and he ain't gonna never get caught. I don't know exactly what the letter said. It just said he was taunting his former convict buddies. Well, after, like I said, on June 8th, 1981, he was caught and he got in a shootout in George Washington hotel lobby. Well, he come back to West Virginia, and he got sentenced to his time for killing the other cop. He received in West Virginia. He received 2 life sentences with mercy, plus 2 to 25 to 100 years for kidnapping. His first parole hearing is scheduled for 2047. I do believe he'll be up in around his 100. Like I said before, he won't make it out there. He'll die in West Virginia Penitentiary. If he does make parole, he will be shipped to to Arizona, and he will face the death penalty, which that's not going to happen. They tried, I think it was one of the governors back in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember. I think it was Underwood or one of those governors. I think they originally granted him to go out to Arizona, and so he could get the death penalty, and then it was overturned. So he got to. He filed appeal and he got to stay. And now he's at Mount Olive. He is on a thing called 3D. It means you're indefinitely in the hole, to as long as they want to keep you in the hole. I'm surprised now that he ain't out of the hole. He's 80 years old now. But I will say, about 10 years ago, last time I seen him, about 8 to 10 years ago, that man was still in shape. He had the body of like a 30-some, 40-some year old, lean, ripped. I mean, I guess he exercised all the time, and he said, but he would get out and be a janitor. But when I seen him playing handball, he run and hit that ball just as hard and fast, just like the young guys. And he played. He was good at handball. And I guess he was in so much shape still that they will keep him there until he's probably in the wheelchair about on his deathbed. I have a guy that told me a little thing about Ronnie T. Williams at the West Virginia State Police. They used to bring their academy up there to Mount Olive and let them walk the Quilliams Q2 and see what it was like. Being some inmates behind bars and stuff after they put them behind bars. But they would all go up to Ronnie T. Williams' cell, and they would all get to beat on his door and say, "I'm going to kill you, you cop killer." They got to threaten him, and, it was a little thing for several state police classes for years that they taunted and supposedly beat on the doors, starting to kill Ronnie T. Williams. I'm sure he had many threats upon his life. I mean, he killed 2 cops. So, I hope y'all like this video. Wanted to tell you about a guy on death row that was in the West Virginia State Penitentiary, one of the most notorious inmates in the West Virginia history. Also, it's just to deter the young kids from being like Ronnie T. Williams. killing a cop, going to prison prematurely, getting stuck in that cell. He has been in the hole since Mount Olive was built. 1994, he's been in the hole. You do the math on that. Also, he was in the hole in Moundsville before that. So you do from escape. So you do the math on how much time he's. West Virginia's equivalent to Larry Hoover. West Virginia's equivalent to Thomas Silverstein. Guys like that has been put in the hole and buried in the hole. He is a strong-minded. He ain't let the system break him. I can honestly say that's one. There's a few people up there at Mount Olive I can't imagine and seeing how long they've been in the hole and they haven't broke yet. The system has not broke them. Man, it's amazing. But guys, stay out of trouble, kids. I hope y'all like my video. Peace, love. Hope you had a happy New Year and a Christmas. God bless you all.